Hey, fill us in, Eric, on what's going on. Basically, some promotions that were kind of textbook, fully expected to go through. 2 officers not getting those promotions, and they happen to be 2 officers that were leading that Vappie investigation. Ann Kirkpatrick has admitted that the mayor has stepped in and is blocking those promotions. Is all that accurate?
Yeah, there were, there were, the city council, the NOPD, civil service, all funded, financed, and put together captains and majors tests. Those tests were given. The candidates, took time off, invested their time and their finances in studying for it. And when it was finally said and done, apparently the mayor didn't like the looks of the captain's test results, nor the major's test results, and simply instructed the chief that there were no promotions to be given. The only reason that was given to us was that somehow the test was unfair. And we asked for examples, we asked for names of complainants so we could investigate, and none were able to be provided to us. Chief was quite honest with this, in my opinion, which is refreshing, because we've not always had that in the past. Now,
it wasn't just 2 specific officers. It was all officers that were going to be promoted?
The information was relayed to us that no one would be being promoted from either list, and that the list would expire. It would just allow to exist until its expiration date.
Wow. No
other explanation.
How many officers were on that list that were expecting to be promoted?
I believe there was approximately 11 on the majors list and approximately 16 on the captain's list. Now, not all of those 11 or 16 would have been promoted. They would have had to promote from the top down as openings occurred.
Right.
But certainly, it was very, very disappointing, and it really, really hurt morale when they gave a test, and the mayor unilaterally doesn't like the looks of it and just kills the list.
And
or effectively kills it.
This is a uniform test, the same one that's used all the time, right?
Well, they haven't had a majors test given in 34 years, so that's even more strange. That after 34 years, they finance the test, they give it, and it's simply ignored. But as times change, they revamp the test and et cetera.
Yep.
But that costs money. And they just simply decided to, the mayor just simply decided to shelve it.
How did officers get, promoted to major before?
Well, they didn't really utilize it. They went and started hiring civilians, chief of staff and civilians and things of that nature. And we convinced them, or else they convinced themselves that was a necessary position. At one time, the department had 6 majors. Now, of course, with the downsizing of the department, I wouldn't necessarily say 6 would be appropriate, but certainly there is a need for majors. There's a need for captains, and it was also designed to be a morale booster, so people could aspire and go higher than a rank of captain, other than being a deputy chief, which is an appointed position.
Right. No, that's a good point.
So it's we've always been suspicious of the promotions that occurred within NOPD, and it's finally been confirmed in this instance that this is a unilateral decision by the mayor for reasons that we can only speculate on, but I do have my suspicions.
Eric Hessler is with us, PANO attorney. No, you said it best, because the mayor was crafty. She didn't deny the 2 specific officers that were involved in the Vappie investigation. She denied 27 officers, right? Potentially 27.
Yeah, which is unexplainable in my opinion.
Right. And essentially that led you guys to, as you said, assume that it had to do with the Vappie investigation?
That and other things, and then, like I said, we did meet to the chief of police credits. He did meet with us, and I think she was very forthcoming, as forthcoming as she could be, and gave us all the information that she had, we believe, which was very little other than what I've already recited. Right. The mayor said it wasn't going to happen. The fact that the number one and number two on the majors list were instrumental in the political investigation seems to be a very likely reason for such a decision.
Coupled with, what does the mayor know about the tests and the police that well, Well,
and the civil service system is the primary one of its primary purposes is to keep political influence and political discrimination out of public employment.
Yep.
So you get promoted based on merit, and God knows that's certainly didn't happen in this case. The exact opposite happened.
And it works both ways. The qualified being denied and the unqualified getting the gig, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's all designed to be a merit-based promotional system, and all too often it's anything but that. In this instance, we had always complained that there was political interference in the promotional system, and we thought we were making progress. And this is really demoralizing to a lot of officers. It's going to harm recruitment if officers think that the only way they can be promoted is to know somebody or to play the political game. And we have a lot of officers who aren't from the state, so they kind of feel like, well, I'll never get promoted. I don't even know anybody.
Right. I'm not an insider.
So it's going to hopefully not have a long-term effect, and hopefully we'll have some type of resolution that's acceptable. But the long-term goal is to structure it to where it is strictly merit-based. As much as it can be.
I mean, the next group of officers that feel, man, in the next 6 months, year, whatever, I'm due for a promotion. This has to be really a discouraging situation.
It is, and that was one of the major problems that we were having with morale, with recruitment, with retention, and those are all problems that we're still struggling with. So this is not a good thing to have happen.
No, it's a fragile situation. This is the last thing you need happening. PANO Attorney Eric Hessler is with us for a few more minutes. Eric, what did you guys, when did this happen as far as sitting down with Chief Ann Kirkpatrick? What did you ask her about these promotions not going through, and what was her reply?
Well, and let me correct myself. It was 11 candidates on the majors test and 22 on the captain's test that have been affected.
11 and 22. So not 27 total, potentially 33 total.
Correct.
Wow.
So when this was let out and advertised that what had occurred, we asked to have a meeting with the mayor and with the chief of police, Ann Kirkpatrick, and she obliged us, and she was, like I said, very forthcoming. When she was told that no one would be promoted from either list, and the reason being was that the mayor felt the test was unfair and had complaints about it. We asked what were the complaints, what were the nature, so we could possibly attempt to rectify it if possible. And we were given no information. I quite frankly believe that the mayor that the chief didn't have that information because she wasn't provided it.
Agreed.
That, we discussed possibly doing the test in a different manner and having it scored differently by outside personnel. And we're told that the department was willing to consider that, but that the mayor would still have the final say so. And if the mayor said that she didn't like the looks of the second list, then we would be back to square one, which we felt forced our hand into filing a petition for an investigation into what the hell was going on.
Did Ann Kirkpatrick, the NOPD chief, seem frustrated?
She was very matter of fact, and that's pretty different from what we've had in past chiefs. Our leaders in the past sometimes were very maybe dishonest and or would give no information or misinformation on the promotional process. At least we have a chief that was honest and forthcoming, and she has a job to do, and she's got a boss, and we understand that.
Yep.
But we have laws regarding civil service. We have the Constitution that directs how civil service promotions are to go, and policies, and this is certainly deviates and violates almost every one of them.
So you guys, instead of spinning your wheels, you filed this petition to the Civil Service Commission, basically asking for a formal investigation?
Correct. And we did it in conjunction with the Black Organization of Police. So we've got two of the three major associations that recognize the problem and are willing to stand up and do something about it.
Of the 33 candidates, how many were Black? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you offhand.
Gotcha. No, that's smart. Get everybody on the same page. I think that's brilliant. And obviously, everybody's goal is the same, for the righteous policeman to be promoted, right?
Yeah, and we're not alleging racial discrimination. I mean, the top two candidates on the majors test, I know, is a Black female and a Black male, and they're both very well qualified. They've tested, they've been vetted, and now they're being denied a promotion for reasons. Well, for political reasons.
Yeah, they're unexplainable.
Racial discrimination is political discrimination, which is outlawed. It's prohibited.
No, I wasn't implying anything about racial. I just meant when you brought in the Black organization too, I thought that was smart, and I was just curious of the number of candidates that were Black. But no, that's pretty irrelevant. It's who's qualified, who gets it. No, and you mentioned no explanation. Ann Kirkpatrick couldn't give you an explanation. And I agree with you. I don't think she got one. I don't think one was provided to her. Exactly. By the mayor. It's a tricky position because it's appointed, it's anointed. It's nice to see someone like Ann Kirkpatrick, I guess, long in the tooth. She's been at this a while. She's sort of unaffected by that. Yeah, you're going to fire me? Go ahead, fire me. I'll get 3 years of pay out of this. And I don't think that's her goal. I think doing the right thing is her goal, and not playing politics. Is that fair to say?
And I think one of the reasons she's been as effective as she has been is because she's earned the respect of the officers that she leads, and she's done that by being honest. She's done that by getting things done, as opposed to a lot of people just sitting around talking about them. She's gotten things done. She's earned that respect, and if she lost it, I think she'd lose the initiative, and the police department would slide back again.
In your opinion, Eric, most of the cops respect Ann Kirkpatrick and the job she's doing?
Almost to a T. The ones that I've talked to, and I talk to them every single day. Yep.
Any final thoughts, Eric? When should this come to a head? When will we get some, results?
Well, we're hoping to get it on the agenda for the civil service meeting in November, and the process would be that they would have a public hearing on the matter, and then decide whether or not they would authorize and go forward with an evidentiary hearing into this situation.
Eric Hessler, PANO attorney, thank you for joining us again on the program. I really appreciate it.